Hey y'all, welcome back. All right, let's go ahead and dive in and see what Divine Holy Spirit has for the collective. The cards are all upright and in order by way of major arcana and through each element. Thank you all for being here and joining me. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, subscriptions to the channel, and your support overall. I love you all. Thank you for the donations. All right, Holy Spirit of the highest white light consciousness, what do you have for the collective? What does the collective need to know and be made aware of at this time? Please and thank you. I heard tremendous just now, but before that I heard testify. So it's something powerful in regards to what someone has to say, maybe having to do with their journey. It feels like a coming out of something, but it's like a tremendous energy. And I'm hearing, I don't know if this is spirit telling me, or it could be anyone for that regard, but it's almost like a thanks to you sort of energy. So if you're out there spreading the light and the good news on a platform or just to your neighbors or family, then something that you spoke, I'm hearing you spoke bestowed. That's the word. I was fighting just now, struggling with the whatever was happening. What you bestowed on them. So a bestowed is like a covering. So it's more than just words. It could just be, you know, your actions, your energy, your influence. That for me, that's a bestowing. So that's very powerful, whatever it is that the magnitude of what you shared with this person. The Queen of Pentacles is showing itself in the pre-shuffle. Sorry, y'all, I had to pause and get through that energy. See exactly what that was. So bestowed. And I'm hearing monumentous, monumental, 8 of Pentacles reverse. So somebody clearly lost focus for a moment. And maybe they were guided toward you. And the influence that you had over their life has maybe completely turned their life around in the right direction. All right, I can dig it. I can dig it. I'm here for that. All right, thank you, Spirit, for that. Anything else? So I'm hearing transparent. So it's the fact that you were transparent. You didn't really, I'm hearing reserve. So you didn't hold back. There were no reserves on what you chose to share with this person. Maybe out of, you feeling they might feel a certain way if you tell them something, and then it maybe backfire or turn against you or offend them. And, you as a compassionate, caring person, you didn't want it to be perceived in such a manner. So, but you didn't reserve yourself when it came to this person. So that, I feel like that's just to provide you some sort of clarity of who this may be. Like it left you kind of feeling like, dang, I really went in hard with this person, but it's what they needed to know. So I feel like that's the influence that you had on them, the transparency that you had, and that's what has possibly completely helped them change their life for the better. So, wow. All right, here we go, y'all. I love it. Thank you, Spirit. Let's get some cards out here. And I appreciate you all support. You know I do. I have people who've been chiming in since day one and they're still here. So this is for you, y'all. Shout out to you. And to my new supporters, I appreciate you. Okay, that might be it, y'all. I always like to clear and get a bottom of the deck energy. All right, here we go. All right, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles reverse. Spirit, tell me more about this Knight of Pentacles reverse. What's going on here? I heard trespass just now. It's a lot of trespassing going on, y'all. A lot. I feel like, too, it's a lot of people tapping into abilities, but they don't know, like, the universal laws. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that. That comes from, high school football games or basketball games when they, the opponents do something that's against the rules, then people start chanting. So I feel like there's a call for a lot of us who are a little more experienced in the community to let these newbies coming in know that there are rules and foundations here, because who else is going to let them know unless they want to find out the hard way. But if they escape a couple of times, maybe they think that it's okay to do this, but it's not okay. So I feel like there's something here going on to where somebody's kind of learning, or maybe they learned something the hard way with this Knight of Pentacles reverse. And you know, for me, I'm being reminded that I always call this like a taker sort of energy. That Knight of Pentacles is all about an exchange. They want to offer you something, but they're expecting something in return for what they're offering. But in the reverse, it's like this is somebody who is taking. There is no equal exchange here. I'm hearing intrusion right now. So evading privacies, y'all. I feel like that's really big right now. I really do. You know, Anna, you talk about surveillance energy, like you dreaming of different things. I've had the surveillance dreams myself. But for me, which I didn't share yet, was those big water bugs, like those cockroaches. In the dream, I saw a lot of them inside of a home. It wasn't my home, but I was in the home. They were in the corners, but they were, you know, their backs were, or they were belly up. So they were dead. They were dead. But I often look at those as being like a device for entities to kind of come in and survey or intrude on someone's privacy. So if you see these things just come out of the blue, like where did this insect come from? It's a tactic. So it could be, you know, witchcraft, it could be anything, but it's somebody who's spying on you. But the dream that I had, these were bellied up. They were dead, but they were like in clusters, like in different rooms that I was kind of walking through, like, ew, you know, and I was like trying to get up on something to get me off of the floor, even though they were dead, but it was like, ew, I don't want to be, you know, next to that or close to that or associated with that even. So I say all that to say, y'all, somebody's not understanding the rules, or either they're learning the hard way when it comes to spiritual law. But it definitely has to do with intrusion, surveillance, energy, and them just to... Y'all know what? Listen, let me stop playing with y'all. Before I even cut the camera on, I was having a little evaluation verbally of somebody who intruded on my dreams last night. And basically, I was letting her know, if you're going to come over in my dreams, don't waste my time, because what it was is this young lady, she closed the door behind her and enclosed me and her in a room. It felt like a classroom, like we were in a school building, and there was just like a room that she just came in. I was already in the room, and she came in there and shut the door behind her. And what ended up happening was we kissed. But I watched her apply like 3 different lip glosses on her lips. And it's like, I'm looking at her like, I know you're not about to try to kiss me with all that lip gloss on. So then we proceeded to kiss. And it was sloppy. She didn't even know what she was doing. And it's like, I was telling her, like, if you're going to come over here, right, if you're going to invade my privacy, some of y'all don't know anything about being violated in your dreams, let alone in real life. But in your dreams, it hits a little different because there's absolutely nothing you can do but protect yourself, of course. But these people, they just kind of seep in because they don't know the rules and the law. So I wanted to share that as well, because that just happened to me last night. But anyway, sweetheart, you got to pay that back. That's coming back to you somehow, but it's not going to be in that kind of way, because you definitely violated me. Oh, my goodness. All right, y'all. So that's what we're about to get into. So with these newbies out here running around, you guys, I don't know, it might be mixed with a little bit of obsession, might be mixed with a little bit of admiration. But I just talked about this yesterday. I did. I talked about this in a reading yesterday when I was, saying why there are tarot cards who renounce divination because they open themselves up to being tools. I just went over this with the collective. Of course, if you have gifts, they can be utilized. But who's using them here? Who's going to step in and take the wheel? That's what you newbies need to be clear and direct about, and understand that entity energy can also step in and say, ooh, that's a nice car you got. Can I drive it? All right, y'all, here we go. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. The violating thing in your sleep is not fun. It's not fun. Because that means somebody's taking something from you. Now, what this young lady got from coming in and kissing me, I don't know, she might walk away with warts on her mouth now, but that's going to be the payback because you can't do that. She's going to wonder now where these warts came from on her mouth or her tongue inside her mouth. Well, that's the gift that you get for trespassing. All right, y'all. You learned so much on this journey, let me tell you. All right. Let's see what's here in the heart of the matter. So let me just wipe all of that clean, but I just wanted to share that with you just as a point of reference for you that actually happened to me. Okay. So we have the 9 of Swords reverse. I'm gonna put, this was the first card to come out, by the way, this Knight of Swords. So something is happening quickly here. This Knight, something coming in fast. But this, I'm hearing persuasion with this. I'm hearing something persuasive, like somebody getting you to go along with something, but it's like a desperation, like a dire need to have you collective co-sign on this, and they need you to do it. No one else can do this for them but you. Let's see what it is. 9 of Swords reversed. So somebody's really in a bad way here. Like, you know, I feel like they were flirting around with something that was dangerous, but now that it's actually unfolded, they see the repercussions and they're living it right now of a decision that they made. We have the High Priestess reversed. So they definitely weren't using their highest of intuition, the vibration of making decisions and tapping into the higher realm to help with whatever they were going through. They just did not have that connection, that clarity for making like the right decision, and they're living that now. They're dealing with that. They understand. This Knight of Cups reverse is letting me know that they must have carried something from where they actually needed to be. So I feel like emotion-wise, they misplaced some emotions, or either they carried something somewhere else is how I look at this card. This could have been something that could have been easily dealt with, but the fact that I'm hearing they try to hold on to something, but it would have to surround how they felt about you or a situation. They held on to it, but instead of rationalizing with themselves and with you, the two parties that were connected in this emotion, they took it to other places. But not only did they do that, I'm hearing they trashed your name while doing so. Look at this, the 5 of Swords in the reverse behind that. So this is where that trashing energy is coming from. They were habitually doing this. Every time they met somebody or had a situation to share something, to try to manipulate somebody, they brought your name up. And when they brought your name up, it played themselves as the victim, as you as the villain. So you were the bad guy in the scenario when you weren't even the bad guy in the real life situation. They could have came to you and resolved things, because you would have been like very like, you know, forgiving of the situation. Like, yeah, we both did crazy things, and, you know, I apologize if I offended you. That's the way that you would have handled it. But this person was trapped in their ego. Behind that, we have the Wheel card reverse. So they're trapped in a karmic cycle here. But this is based on their decisions, what they did to try to remedy a situation. Instead of being an adult and taking care of things the right way with the person who they offended or thought offended them, they wanted to go off and carry this story and look for sympathy in others. But by the way of sharing this sympathic, not sympathic, because that kind of seems like empathic, so that could resonate here. They could also be some sort of empathic energy to where they knew exactly who to carry this to, because they, you know, they were tapped in some sort of way. The High Priestess is still here. Even though it's reversed, it's still here. So that lets me know that they have giftings and abilities. So in that empathic or I don't know why I want to say sympathic. Maybe that's a conjoining energy of the sympathy factor and then the empathy factor. Sympathy and empathy, sympathic. Anyway, you guys, you know what I'm saying. You know who this person is. You know that they talked wildly about you behind your back. And you know how what I'm being shown now? This is how you know that they were talking about you. In your face, they were a whole different person, like everything was cool, right? But let me tell you, if you didn't have communication with this person and you went around people that you all knew in common, it could be family, could be friends, but the family was hearing one thing, but then when you show up in your earthly presence, your godly energy, right? Your chosen energy, something ain't matching here versus what they were told by this person who was slandering you, talking bad about you, gaining sympathy from people, being the victim. And then when you show up as the person who's supposed to be the villain, something ain't matching here. This is what this person's paying for right now. So that's why I said there's something that they need from you. They're coming in quick. They need you to fix this for them. But they're the ones who landed themselves here by slandering your name. So how'd that work? How'd that work? I don't know. Let's see what else is here. Below this energy, I'm going to turn this one card over. So we have the Eight of Swords. They're trapped in their own lies. Look at this. They could have freed themselves, but they're blinded by so many things. They're bound. They're blinded. They're tired of standing up in this. They want to just sit down, but they can't sit down because they're bound to this. And what it looks like is a tree in the background, right? So that tree is giving me something like this is the root of their problems. They can't escape this. Look at the swords all around them. Those are all, look at the Nine of Swords. These are all the different situations that they put your name in that now they can't even climb out of because they wanted to be the victim. But people see that you're nobody's villain in this. You were actually a savior in this person's life, but they chose to play victim and trash your name behind your back. Mind you, this was behind your back. You being tapped in, I'm sure you've been made aware of this, that this person was doing this, but now they're paying for it in so many ways, so many ways. And again, with the spirituality energy, you know, them being like an empath, they could be like a dark empath and you are a light empath, right? Because there is a connection. You would have to know what's going on here. You, by way of you picking up signs and energies and you being an empath, you're going to get hits, spiritual hits of what this person's doing. So the fact that they were a dark empath means that they were spiritual trespassing. They were disregarding the spiritual laws. They didn't care about any of that. And I did mention early on somebody getting away with something and not, you know, maybe they aren't being held accountable in the spiritual realm, or they don't think that they are, but they are. I mean, notes are being taken on their progress and what they're doing wrong. So therefore, something has to be worked up. So I'm getting a reference of like a teacher who has to have like a record book. You know, you carry your grades from semester to semester, week to week, whatever. But then it's like you see them starting out good, then they fall. So that's when you kind of pull them to the side. And if they continue to fall, then there has to be other, you know, things put in place, implemented to try to get them back on track. It's kind of like a grading scale here when it comes to spirituality and what it is that you do. I mean, they're going to let you ride for a little bit, and then they're going to come and tap in and let you know that you can't do that. You can't do that, right? That's what I said earlier. Ooh, all right, y'all. Here we go. Above this energy, we have the Page of Cups. So here they are, right? I'm hearing influence with this. So perhaps when I said that you possibly, you know, have a platform and you're doing, and I said this in the previous reading that I referenced earlier, that you have a platform, this person's watching you. So when I heard influence just now, this is what I know. This, y'all, if we not connecting a dot right now, listen, this is why they're scared. Because all of those horrible things they said about you, now that you have a platform and people are able to say, wait a minute, is this the same person such and such was telling us about that did all this dirt to them and was a terrible person and did this and did that? Every time we saw this person, they was talking junk about this person with the platform who obviously is riding in the light. They're helping people. They're saving lives here by way of sharing their own transparencies of their testimonies and what they've been through. So it ain't adding up. And then people are also getting hints of, I wonder if, she's possibly referencing that. I mean, this is spirituality, you guys, right? We all kind of have our different vibrations, but for the most part, there are groups and clusters of us that are on the same wavelength. So we experience the same things around the same time. So I'm hearing even like Pluto return right now because it's based on planetary stuff. This is why we share different events in common that happen in our lives. But this person told all of these false, untruths, let me say that, about you, but people now have access to see otherwise. And this is why this person's going through and they're trapped in their own lives. So I say all that to say with the Page of Cups, now it's like a little too late to apologize. That's what that's giving me right now. Like, it's very small of an offering of a cup here, and they don't know if you're going to take it or not. But they want to present something to you. I don't even know if it's an apology. The thing is, this card is pretty much on the side. It's not it's not upright saying, yeah, they're definitely going to try to apologize. It's not reverse saying, that, nah, they're not going to apologize. It's on the side pretty much. So they're kind of still teetering with a little half-ass bullshit, whatever this is, offering that they want to give you in regards to, how they want to express their emotions to you. It ain't enough. It definitely ain't enough. Page of Cups. All right, let's keep going, y'all. On top of this energy here that's face down, I'm going to go ahead and talk about these two cards and then we'll turn those over. I have the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. Look at that. I'm hearing expressed emotions here. Y'all, these are the lies here. These are the lies. When I heard expressed emotion, that lets me know this is what they were telling people. With the Seven of Pentacles here, they're telling people how much money they spent on you, they put into you. They did this with it, with their funds and their money financially. They made risk, with their job, their career, to try to help and support you. And all you did was this and that. Oh, they made it sound real good, y'all. Like they had all this money and they did all this, and they basically gave all this money to try to help you. That's the story. And then the Six of Wands is, they expected some sort of victory by doing so. All of the different things that they did, they wanted some kind of victory by way of this. But that also lets me know that by sharing their story, they were looking for victories with this. But those wands are actions because they were looking for something to benefit from when they were sharing this information with that particular person. Now, what that is in regards to, it could just be getting another person on their team to be on the hate train against you collective. Six of Wands is victory. Let's see what's underneath this energy face down, what we cannot see coming. I'm going to turn them over. Eight of Cups reverse. They're unable to walk away. Eight of Cups reverse. Two of Wands reverse. Ooh, I heard tragic here with the Two of Wands reverse. I need to see what that means. Hold on, y'all. I'm hearing a little perplexed. It gets a little perplexed here. Because the Two of Wands, just for reference, in the reverse, it means somebody just drops everything and walks through a door, right? Not necessarily walk away from something. I mean, could be that, but they're making a choice, a solid decision to stop everything, just drop everything. But where they were, it was fine. There wasn't anything, that would want to push them in another direction. They were good. But they chose to walk through a set of doors that led them somewhere else. And I'm here in the underworld right now. That was their choice. So the hate train energy, this was dragging people along with them through this door. Whatever was done in the process of gathering people to come against you, collective, by way of the stories that they shared to paint themselves as a victim and you as a villain, these people latched on. It was a victory here every time they were able to do this, because this person, it feels like, was recruiting. Now, whether or not it was recruiting to hate on you, send you evil eye, do magic on you, stop whatever it is that you're doing, or whatever that is, they were also gathering these people to take them down into the underworld, is how I'm seeing this. Because this person completely walked away and checked out. That Eight of Cups reverse definitely means being unable to walk away. So they held on to a toxic energy that related to their emotions. I'm hearing not being able to get through, like they weren't granted. Maybe granted some sort of entry. So it's like the more people that they had on board, that's a buildup of energy. That's like a siphoning of energy, a use of energy for their benefit. But these people unsuspectedly were being dragged into the underworld with them. Now, what the underworld is, I just feel, okay, so I heard death defying. So we could be talking about sacrificial energy for this person's benefit. Dang, that's messed up, right? You would think, okay, that's the messed up part, y'all. This person who was looking for sympathy by telling lies on you, collective, and you were the star of this show. This person's show, you are the star because you are the bad guy. So they even put more energy into you than themselves, but they didn't even know that they were doing that. It was more to suppress you and stop you and block you. But of course, it ended up happening to them because we saw it spelled out here. But the messed up part is the people who they were sharing this with, all of these lies, those people were being played because this person had in mind that I'm going to tell you this lie. You're going to believe me. You're going to have sympathy for me. But then I'm going to take that sympathy you have for me and I'm going to utilize it for my progress in doing deceitful deeds and things because that's where I'm headed. But you don't know that because I'm the good guy to you. And that person's the bad guy. No, they're the bad guy, not me. I need you to believe me and ride with me. You have no idea where I'm taking you, but I need you to, be on my side. And all aboard. Get on the hate train with me. And this train led these people right to hell because these people were suffering behind this person's lies. That's it. That's period, point blank. These people wound up suffering behind believing this person and their lies. That's why you got to do your own research, y'all. You hear it from somebody, but that's the reason there's always two sides to a story. The deeper meaning of why there's always two sides is because when I mentioned earlier that we're on different frequencies, somebody who's in a lower vibration and they're attached to this person, which means they're also in a lower vibration if they're having interactions and, it seems like it's all good. You're believing them and yeah, they wouldn't do that. You're in that vibration with them. So you're not going to be able to see past that reality because here's where the truth lies up here. You can't rise that high to see the truth. That's why there's always two sides to every story. Because something is not going to allow you to be able to see the truth because you're hanging with low frequency people and energy and situations. So it's not going to resonate with you that this is what it really is because you're believing the side of the lower frequency person and it's believable. That's the crazy part. It's believable. Ooh, thank you, God, for that. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for that. Because that's something I have been wanting to say, but I was just waiting for the right moment. And there it was, y'all. The two sides to every story thing. Ooh, has to do with frequency levels and where you're at and what you're more in a position to believe based on where you are. Spirit, please clarify the energies on the table. Let the cards fall as they may. I'm so excited about getting that out, y'all. People need to know. And you wonder why it seems like somebody's lying when they're the ones who were telling the truth the whole time. Well, the one who was who you thought was lying, who you thought was the villain, was actually the good guy, but you were hearing it from the villain because y'all are on the same frequency. Bottom of the deck, we have the change card here. So, wow. I want to come back to this. Let me see what else is out here. We just got through going over this energy. I want to turn this clarifier over here. Official person. This is somebody who knows what they're doing. They're decorated. They're honored. They have major experience in what it is that they're doing. This is over here with the person who was responsible for telling the lies and recruiting people for the hate train to take them straight into hell with them. Keeping them on a lower vibrational energy and believing the lies of this official person. And I'm hearing this official person has a job to do. So that could be why they chose to walk through this door. This Two of Wands reverse, which I said was the underworld. Because that's them as the official person. That's their job. Let me turn this card over on top of the Eight of Swords energy. So courthouse. This person's going through some sort of justice or judgmental justice. There's a case here. Let me see what's going on with this, Spirit. I heard spiritual, and then I heard abilities. So there's something up for a judgment when it comes to their spiritual abilities. And it's touching that Two of Wands as well, with them making the decision to guide people their way, where they were headed. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna turn this card over the Page of Cups. See what's going on here. Despair. So this is a bullshit apology energy, y'all. Don't worry about it. It's the best they can do with the Despair card, and it still ain't even good enough. Like, the very best you can do and come up with is still a waste of time. That's a sad case in this scenario, because they did so much dirt, y'all, to try to destroy you. Because this was all about you. You were the star of this person's show, but not in a good way. We got the message card here at the bottom. It was laying this way. So, Spirit, tell me more about the message card. I said I heard yet to receive and get ready to receive. So what is the receiving energy, Spirit? I heard communication, so it's communication. All right, Spirit, tell me more about the change card at the bottom of the deck, because I wanted to come back to this. I'm hearing changes are amongst us. I literally heard you as like us. And I feel like it just has a lot to do with exposure. And we were talking about spiritual law from the very beginning. Y'all, this is also giving me of things that people thought couldn't be changed, can be changed. It just takes knowledge and effort to get it done. And it's like, because I'm being shown like a cement block, or and specifically I'm seeing like a gravestone header, or whatever you call it, topper, whatever you call that. Like that's the way that it has to be. But you see that you can also put like a plaque in the ground. You can maybe just place flowers there. You can put them in a, what do you call that, a consorted to, I don't know, y'all. I don't know why we're even going there and getting into all this. But there's a change coming, like a new way of doing things, or maybe not even having to go that route to begin with. It's like, just because it's been set in stone a certain way doesn't mean that it always has to be that way. Change can happen. So I'm gonna just leave that at that, y'all. And I hope this helps.